the audience's response, and you can kind of work with that live audience, and that's something that I think enhances the entire presentation that you do. You know, when you just have the recorded shows, it's just very passive, and people just sit there and watch the show. But when you can interact, with that live audience, I think it just makes for a much better show. So it's nice that we're able to do that.
And that's during the Star Talks?
Yeah, during the Star Talks. The Star Talks are kind of when you get a chance to do that kind of interaction with the audiences. And sometimes I'll do it with the public shows, but I more so would do it with the school shows. Often at the end of a Star Talk, I'll fade the lights up a little bit, the red lights or what have you, and then I'll take questions from the audience and the students, and that's always kind of nice to get questions and be able to interact and let the people learn about the things they want to learn about. They will ask if they can see a black hole, or if they can go visit the sun or something like that. So. Except one of the things that's probably, they always ask if they can see that roller coaster thing, which we have a Mobius loop fly around that we have often done as kind of a finale for a lot of the live shows, and so I think people that have been here, kids that have been here before, always seem to remember that. And so when I am trying to get questions from an audience of kids, there's always somebody that says, "Can we see the roller coaster?" I always have to say, "Well, yeah, okay, but let me get a few other questions before we do the roller coaster." And so I guess it's a good thing that we've done that, because the kids they remember the planetarium, they had a good time. And so I always think it's good to, even if they don't remember all the little details of the things that they learned here, if they remember they had a good time, and then maybe they'll think, yeah, I was at the planetarium, I really enjoyed that, I'm going to go back and try to learn more about it, or I'm going to go to my library and get some books about it, or read up more on it. But I'm sure there's some people that just, all they remember is the roller coaster. So, I mean, that's good and bad.
Where would you like to see the planetarium in a few years?
Where would I like to see the planetarium in a few years? Well, I mean, I sure hope we're still here. That's number one. I do hope that we can keep up with the current projector technology. When we had our Digistar 2, we had it in there, and it was 20 years old, and computers, when they're 20 years old, are so antiquated that it was really kind of holding us back from being able to do more things than we wanted. So I'm really hoping that with this Digistar 5, they've already come out with Digistar 6, so I'm hoping that we don't go 20 years before we can upgrade again. And I think that's probably going to be possible, because with the older technology, when something new came out, it really was ripping everything out and putting all new in, which is very expensive. But now, as newer computers come along, we could maybe upgrade the computers 1 year, and then a few years later, better projectors might come out, and we could upgrade the projectors. And so if we can kind of do it a little bit by bit, we can hopefully keep up to date with what is the current technology, because it's just so much better. I mean, I think it's obvious that it's better to keep that technology current and up to date. Although I know a lot of planetarium friends that I know that like to be really kind of out on that cutting edge and doing, the newest, latest, greatest stuff. And sometimes, at least my opinion, is that can be a little bit of a problem, because sometimes the newest, latest stuff is kind of iffy. Like sometimes things don't quite work, and and at least the system that we have is very dependable, and we can focus more on the content and the shows, and we don't have to worry about problems with the new technology not quite working as you hope it would. So I don't want to get too far out on that cutting edge, but we do want to keep up with what is the current technology. So, I mean, I hope that's where we go, and I hope I'm around to see that.
And this is the last question.
All right.
What does the planetarium mean to you?
What does the planetarium mean to me? Oh, that's such a tough, open-ended question. So of course you save it for last. Well, it's, I mean, one thing that's kind of amazing to me is that I've been able to make a career out of the planetarium. I never thought when I was in college that the planetarium was a career. I was, in college getting a degree in astronomy, and so often I would tell my college friends, because every college kid says, "Hey, what's your major?" It's always like the college question. So I'd say astronomy, and they'd say, "Astronomy? What are you going to do with that? What, you're going to like write those little articles in the newspaper, like the little horoscopes and stuff?" It's like, no, that's not what astronomy is. But I didn't know what I really would do with it. I figured, well, I enjoy it, so that's why I'm studying it. But how that's gonna, what I'm gonna do with it in the future, I'm not gonna worry about at this point. I don't know. But after I got out of college and went to grad school, got an education degree, I stumbled into a planetarium job in Pittsburgh, and realized that, wow, you can make a career out of this. There's a career known as planetarian, and so it's been nice that I've been able to do that and make a living. Don't make it. I mean, I'm not. I think it's probably kind of obvious that planetarians aren't the richest people around. If you're going for a career and you want to make money, be a doctor or a lawyer. But if you're willing to live a modest life, I guess, then but the rewards are so much more, because the non-financial awards, I guess, are so much more, because you can just enjoy yourself. I sometimes I'll have kind of a bad day and things aren't quite going right, and I'm like, and then I think, oh, wait a minute, why am I complaining? I've got one of the best jobs there is in the world. I get to play with all this planetarium equipment and make stars, and make kids happy with seeing the night sky and the roller coaster and everything else. So you have a bad day now and again. Don't complain about it, because life could be a lot worse. Yeah. So I guess that's what the planetarium means to me.